Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 7.81% to 39,148. Ethereum down 7.55% to 2621. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explained the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Thank you for being a part of our globally extended family. I appreciate you being here. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. There's always hope. The sun will come out again, and you're not alone. As crypto technical analysts, we scientifically track investor attention. The first thing we do is to understand how to mark up charts correctly, and there's a bit of an art and a science behind the CTKS method designed specifically for crypto. Then we look into the outside world. We check the stock markets, check world events, collect probabilities. We want to know where the market is likely to be headed. And it's not all about certainty, it's about stacking probabilities. Many people, when they enter the crypto market, when they enter any financial market, they want certainty. Certainty doesn't exist if you want a return, and especially a really good return. Next, we look at the market's focus. We know that opportunities reset daily, and we enhance our pattern recognition. Many people have a subconscious aversion to wealth, and this is really problematic. When you're inside the crypto market, inside financial markets, you need a good relationship with money. Money is a neutral thing. It's not good and it's not evil. It depends on the hands that it's placed within. Good people do good things with money. Bad people do bad things with money. And there are many, many rules that underlie the attainment of wealth, which can be intergenerational, and the attainment of riches, which pretty much is like a match burning. It goes quickly. When we have all these foundations, we get into the trigger section where we learn how to buy and sell effectively. And there's many methods to do that and many things to be aware of. But what actually happens, most people, when they get into the crypto market, they just want to buy and sell immediately. And then they wonder why their accounts blow up. It's because when people enter the crypto market, they are addicted to certainty. Unfortunately, the panic zone and the blame zone are where people lose money. They tend to buy on green and sell on red. Professionals who have given up certainty because it just doesn't exist, they focus on probability and getting the knowledge and skills that they need. There's a lot of rules and a lot of patience that is required to make money in any financial market, especially in crypto. How to make money in crypto. Buy on red. This is the incredibly important thing. It's literally the opposite thinking of zone 1 and zone 2 thinking. So zone 1 and 2 are all about how to lose money. Zone 3 is how to make money. Zone 4 is how to keep money and actually have a really beautiful life in the process. Let's have a look at how global markets are playing out. We know the cryptocurrency market is just getting started. It's like the internet was before the year 2000 in terms of adoption, not in terms of price. But we saw the internet just grow and grow and grow, and it's just become a part of life. I had an internet service provider back in 1993 that I owned and operated. I was there right literally at the birth of the internet. I saw what happened to internet companies and all the various legislation that governments tried to pass to kill the internet. They're doing exactly the same thing with crypto. They weren't successful with the internet trying to kill it, and they will not be successful with crypto trying to kill it either. But it looked like they were getting close many times. But what happens is that when there is a faster, cheaper, better technology, it always gets adopted. Always. The unfortunate thing is many people actually don't know what crypto is about. Crypto is the ownership layer for the next generation of the internet of value. We're really, really, really early in not only its penetration of crypto into the mainstream, because remember, it's just the next form of the internet. Can you imagine taking your fiat currency to Mars when you hop on a spaceship? That's not going to happen. And we will do interstellar flight and travel. Elon Musk is doing a good job of getting us there. And we can see the crypto adoption cycle is just starting to take off. We're really, really early. But crypto is an investment vehicle and it has substitutability. It has substitutability into gold, into stocks, and into bonds. And as crypto technical analysts, we have to pay attention to all of these markets. Just zeroing in on your beloved alt will put you squarely in zone 1 and zone 2, where you will lose money. You need a much broader concept. Crypto technical analysts measure price, which is reality. Promises are promises, but price is the actual reality of any market. When we look through these 8 charts, they tell crypto technical analysts a story. What is the story that they're telling us? When we look at the VIX, we can see the amount of fear inside the US market is increasing. Why are we looking at the US market? Why don't we look at some other market? Because the US market is absolutely and utterly huge. It takes over half of any investment in stock markets, so we must pay attention to the US market. What we see is fear increasing and increasing and increasing. This is not a good sign. This is not what the VIX does. The VIX is very spiky. It tends to spike up and then retrace. We've seen an increase in tension. So we can go across to the gold price. Look at gold. It's just sparking up. Why is that? Because of geopolitical risk. Why is that? Because of what is happening with Russia. What is happening in Russia is actually weakening the Eurozone. That, by definition, increases the DXY value. And also, we're getting USD demand. That's why when we look at the DXY, the US dollar currency index, we see it going up. This is almost a flight to safe, well, it's a safe haven flight, as is gold. We're looking at bonds. They're starting to come back up the wall. This is a risk off. This is increased economic concern. And we can see the inverse in the yields starting to come down. Oil is going parabolic because Russia controls the majority of the oil inside Europe. So it's absolutely exploding in price. This is impacting the inflation rate. We're just looking at the 5-year break-even inflation rate. We can see it coming up. And of course, what do all of these things do to the indices inside the market? We were just about to cross above resistance, but we weren't there yet. We've actually dipped down now. One thing to keep in mind, price moves in waves. That's rule 4. Things go up and down, up and down. They just don't go up and they just don't go down. They move in waves. Because the US stock market is so huge, it has its own gravity. Rule 217, no stock market can escape the US's gravity. If we look back on the US indices, the UK, Australia, Japan, France, China, Russia, and Switzerland, we can see all their indexes move in line. What was this big sell-off? That was the March 2020 crash. What do we see? All the indexes come together. They go up together, they come down together, they retrace. What's this white line? That's actually the Russian MOEX. And what happens when we go forward in time? What we see is that the indices follow the directional bias of the US market. Now, what happened here with the Russian stock market? It came down and it's been coming down really, really hard. In fact, it's been closed pretty much since the Russians invaded Ukraine. If we zoom in a little bit further, we can see the MOEX has basically halted. And look at this, France is starting to come down really, really hard as well. And we can see here Canada's TSX, it's fighting the trend. It's actually coming up. Whoa, go Canada. We can see the Russian ruble continues to sell off against all major trading pairs, including the USD, the Euro, the Japanese yen, the Great British Pound, the Chinese yuan, the Swiss franc, and the Australian dollar. Just really something quite fascinating. There's been a bit of an investigation into Putin's wealth. It's potential that Putin has more wealth than Elon Musk, in excess of $200 billion. But Putin does not have any money in his own name. He actually transfers that around to the oligarchs and goes through various protective layers to basically hide his wealth. This is why the sanctions are being placed against Putin personally and all of the oligarchs. And in 2017, they estimated that Russian wealth offshore was 800 billion. You can only imagine what it would be in 2022. As crypto is so small and it follows the directional movement of the major US indices, we saw a sell-off. That happened to crypto as it was also happening to the main stock market. This green line is the NASDAQ 100. You can see a fairly good correlation, directional correlation between what the NASDAQ does and what Bitcoin does. What we've seen, Bitcoin getting up to $45,092. There was a lot of resistance up here. You identify these resistance and support levels through the foundation section. We do note that there is still a degree of support inside the market, and we had a bit of downward price momentum here from 39,192 down to about 38,600. What we've seen is that the price may come down to this support level, and it could go down further, but we would expect some gravitational pull towards this particular support line. That is why we actually analyze technicals. We need to know where price could go and where price could be rejected from. That's why Rule 74 is so vitally important to understand. Technicals beat fundamentals. Technical is reality. Fundamentals is a promise. The reality of price movement beats the promise of price movement. Don't forget that all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell, but very, very few investors know how to do technical analysis correctly, and you cannot use the past methods of technical analysis in the stock market or in Forex. You have to use an exponentially designed crypto technical analysis. That's what we use, the CTKS method, inside the masterclass. Bitcoin is currently trading at 38,774. It could come down to this 38,004 mark. It could even go below that support because we're moving into the weekends. For the members of the community who commented on whether Bitcoin was going bull or bear, many said that it was going bear, and it did go bear. Well done. As we enter the weekend around the world, please let me know where you think Bitcoin could be headed to. In terms of the next 24 hours, do you believe it's going to come up and test this cradle of resistance, this overhead of resistance at 41,568? Or do you think it's going to test this cradle of support at 38,004, or even drop below to 35,227? Please let us know in the comments. It's really good to discuss these things. There's an enormous difference between retail thinking and professional thinking. Retail thinking is in zone 1 and zone 2, where people go all in or all out, buy on green, sell on red, are addicted to the news and indicators and certainty. There's a lot of very high stress. Zone 3 is the patience and rule zone. This is the place that we make money. We understand percentages. We buy on red and sell on green. We literally do the opposite to what retail investors and traders do. When we look at large percent decreases, we want to have a part of that as professionals. When we see a percentage coming down, for example, this one came down 21.64%, and we were buying all the way down there. That actual tail reversed up 24%. It is absolutely and utterly possible to make money when the price is coming down. You just have to buy correctly. And that's what we're all about as crypto technical analysts. You can see this big dump here from here, and it's not even a low, up to the highest price here was a near 35% increase. If we had some kind of long tail rejection like this over 21%, that could take us down to around $30,000. If that was the case, we would expect a long tail rejection. We're still inside the bull market for Bitcoin. A lot of people think we're in a bear market. We're simply not. And crypto technical analysts can trade in any particular market. Bull market, bear market, consolidation, it's utterly irrelevant. And we can see when we look into the percentage movements inside bull markets, they are going up and down by plus and minus 30%, quarter on quarter. It's just the way the crypto works. Don't get sucked into the bull market, bear market narrative. Just get the skill as to know when to buy. When to buy is the most important thing that you can ever do. If you can understand how to buy something like this when everybody is fleeing the market, you're already a professional. And then you can just take profit at a specified percentage that you're comfortable with. It's literally only inside zone 1 and zone 2 where people talk about 100 to 1 shots. We're not interested in that. We're interested in making specified percentage returns when it's right, and it can take patience, and it does take a lot of rules. It's not easy for people to buy on red. On days like today, most investors and traders are actually liquidating their positions. They don't realize that a percent down actually can create a much larger percentage up. For example, that's why we have the 10-5-10 fund. If you buy something at $10, it goes down to $5. That's a 50% decrease. But if it goes from 5 back up to 10, you could say, oh, I've just come back and I've got my money back. But the truth is, from 5 to 10 is 100% increase. These happen all the time in crypto, but you have to have the skills and you need the knowledge. We could expect a bit of turbulence across the weekend, but this is nothing new. And if you know the 10-5-10 rule, all about actually understanding these big percentage movements down, they're just gold. That's what we wait for as crypto technical analysts. We lean in on these. And always remember, all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So understanding how to buy correctly, especially as you dollar cost average in, is really important. And you have to have the psychological perspective of actually wanting to see these kind of movements inside the market. That is not a zone 1 and zone 2 perspective. It is a zone 3 and zone 4 perspective. Turning to the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we had an enormous amount of optimism as we saw higher prices. We know that it came into that $45,000 resistance. And look at this big decrease in optimism, this ramping up of fear. Fear has gone parabolic. And we know that what is happening inside the global markets has got a lot to do with this. What I did was to look through if I could find a pattern like this in the past. It doesn't exist. This is something new that we're seeing inside the crypto market. By stacking this probability, we could say that we could get more follow through to come. But always understand that the crypto market doesn't like certainty. If you're absolutely certain as to what will happen, the opposite thing tends to happen. And that's because smart money goes the opposite way to zone 1 and zone 2. As soon as people become certain, they get the rug pulled out from underneath them. Personally, I'm buying at levels down as low as I can go and stacking Bitcoin. Bitcoin's fundamentals remain unchanged. The actual price action, the reality of Bitcoin, is that it's just mirroring what's happening inside the world. But Bitcoin is just at the start of its adoption cycle. Many people say, I'm an investor, I don't care about this technical analysis stuff. You should definitely care. If you actually bought, for example, Bitcoin when it was around, for example, 64,000, or even up here, nearly 68,000, you wouldn't want to be holding on to that for this period of time. You would want to actually trade it, and trading can occur all the time. All you need to do is to create a return which is in excess of what the bank would pay you and in excess of what inflation is destroying your fiat currency over. So anything 10% and above is really, really good, especially if you turn it over quickly. But it's always do what is right for you. There are no certain rules. You must do what is correct for you. A lot of people inside Zone 1 and Zone 2 say, I don't care about the markets, I don't care about the stock market, it's decoupled from Bitcoin. And they say, I don't care about Bitcoin, it's not my beloved alt. I only want to look at my beloved alt, and I don't care about anything else. That is a recipe to lose money. You certainly don't want to do that. After more than 3 decades in the market, I can just say, please look more broadly. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. This is really, really important. You'll be looking at your alts right now and watching them bleed out, and you will say, why did this happen? I don't understand. All the foundations, the fundamentals are the same, but they are selling down. And you'll say, what caused this? You'll look into the news for some kind of answer. You won't find it. It's right here. It's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's gravity impacts every single alt. Crypto technical analysts understand this rule. It's one of the most important rules you'll ever learn. Because Bitcoin is so incredibly volatile, it makes the alts even more volatile. That's why you must know what you will do if price goes down, goes up, or goes sideways. Don't have a one-dimensional decision-making process. You must have 3 at all times. Many people inside Zone 1 and Zone 2 look at a day like today and say, it's all over, and they throw their arms up in the air. In truth, we're still inside the bull market. If we go to the options and we have a look at Bitcoin, options expiring at the end of March, we can see options towards the end of March up to $400,000 Bitcoin, and we can see a lot of people expecting higher prices for Bitcoin. When you're in a bear market, you see the exact opposite behavior. We're inside a bull market. I do deeper dives on all of this inside the masterclass. It's so fascinating that when people go to the department store or go shopping for food, they want a discount. But when they go into the market, into any market, crypto, stock market, doesn't matter. They want to buy when the price is increasing. This is just crazy. Think about it. It doesn't make sense. If you believe in the project that you are in, and there are many very, very good projects that will stand the test of time, Bitcoin is definitely the number one. You could literally buy Bitcoin, and don't forget, always buy at spot. Do not go under any leverage. Your account will just die. You need to buy at spot, which means that you swap a fiat currency or other crypto for the crypto that you want. With Bitcoin, you could do that. You could buy it at spot and you could hold it for the next 20 years and it would still be trading. We can't say the same with a lot of the other cryptos that are out there. That's why you find the institutions focusing on Bitcoin. That is the reason smart money focuses on Bitcoin. One thing that you need to be very aware of is Bitcoin's gravity. This blue line here is Bitcoin's fingerprint. It explains the gravity of Bitcoin over a specific alt. We can see Ethereum following Bitcoin's gravity. Note how it follows that blue line, but it's weaker. It's selling off more strongly than what Bitcoin is. And this is why we actually go into the alts, because when they rebound typically more strongly than Bitcoin. If all the alts just acted like Bitcoin, there would be no reason for the alts, apart from the different use cases that they provide. But I'm talking from a trading and investing perspective. Let's have a look at Binance Coin. Binance Coin, we can see Bitcoin has been outperforming it. One of the things that you will see with gravity, when gravity kicks in to the negative side, when a particular alt is suppressed, it actually tends to snap back at some stage. Please keep this in mind. It can be very, very valuable for you. XRP is following Bitcoin's gravity and showing a little bit of weakness, but that's what we expect. That's what the alts do. ADA, Cardano, unfortunately, under a lot of pressure, a lot of negative momentum. Solana, the same. When we look at AVAX is doing quite well, but you can see that it's basically following Bitcoin's fingerprint. Luna, we can see Luna did quite a divergence here, but gravity snapped it back. It also had some really good in crypto news. But what you need to pay attention to is no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. You can see Bitcoin selling down here. What is happening to Luna? This is the gravity that I'm talking about. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. It takes quite a few days inside the market to see this playing out, but it is an absolute rule. And when you know it, when you can apply it, it can be a license to print money. Rule 32, find the market's focus. As crypto technical analysts, we're always interested in strength. We don't want weak cryptos because weak can decay. They can implode on themselves. We want strong ones. They can implode on themselves as well, but they tend to repair really well. One thing that you'll always find is your profitability will depend on your psychology. This is a thing that not many people, when they enter the market, understand. Riding out the turbulence is really, really difficult to do. So that's why you just set reasonable levels. If you get into a crypto and you want to make 10, 20, 30, 40%, whatever those percentages are, you just set and forget. In some cases, you will see price surge past, and if it does, it does. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, that keeps people awake at night. They say, why didn't I pick the right lotto numbers? Why didn't I go to the casino and pick the right roulette number for that spin? That's fantasy. Life doesn't work that way. You don't have a crystal ball. All you have is a probability, and you have to play it. You can see even here with Luna. Luna did so incredibly well. It was all the way up to nearly $100. But what happened now? Luna's come back to around $82. Why is this? Because of Bitcoin's gravity. Bitcoin giveth and Bitcoin taketh awayeth. And we can see Bitcoin is taking away all over the place. Naughty Bitcoin. Look at that. All of these particular crypto projects are really, really strong in the reality of price momentum. And that's an incredibly important thing to say. When these particular projects, if you put money into these projects, you would have done better than putting it into others. This is the market's focus. So when we look at these particular projects, we can see, for example, Luna doing really, really well. Masterclass students, you will identify a SA pattern here. One thing to be aware of, when things come up, straight up like this, what do they typically do? They come down. So please be aware of that. Sometimes people just want to ride the certainty out. That is Zone 1 and Zone 2 behavior. Always play to the probability. And if you miss the top, don't worry about it. Nobody can pick the top. You can only pick the probability. You can pick a potential range where things could go based on the technicals. But as we've seen with Bitcoin, that can actually move around. It depends on so many things. Let's have a look at Syscoin, SYS. This is a really powerful project, but just like Bitcoin, it's under resistance at the moment. We can see AVAX starting to turn around, starting to get out from resistance, but it's very close. Masterclass students use the EC method on this one. Gala is still under resistance, and Sand as well. Solana still under resistance, but kind of on a tight resistance level, is starting to make a movement away. NEAR has crossed across its resistance, but when you get these crosses, you often find There is just so much sell momentum from back here that it just pushes the price down. So getting these retracements is not only normal, it's expected. And when we look at ILV, we can see ILV has actually crossed across its resistance level. It's now starting to consolidate. But all of the alts move with Bitcoin's gravity. Always be aware. If you want to answer the question, what happened to my beloved alt? Why is it doing what it's doing, either positive or negative? The answer is Bitcoin. That's why you need to look at it. That's why we focus on it. Because if you don't understand how Bitcoin will move your beloved alt, for example, on Luna, you could have said, Luna's going to the moon. Look, it's a rocket ship. It's taken off. I don't know anything about technical analysis, you say. I just know the price is going up. I've seen a particular channel and they say the fundamentals are so good. And then whack, you get a 20% retrace and you say, I'm wrong. I need to sell. I did the wrong thing. And you only have to do that quite a few times and you'll find that your account is actually comes down too much. What we see here inside Luna is that we're coming up to a resistance level. We've come up to a couple of those, and this particular downward movement in price is more than reasonable. We've had literally a monster rally inside a market that is hanging on the edge in terms of global events. I'd like to thank the very kind and generous community members who've reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS. Thanks so much, everyone. I'd like to especially thank Beardy Day. Beardy Day says, if you haven't joined the masterclass yet, come on in. Vicente, thank you so much, my friend. Vicente said, the importance of discipline in purchasing is really vital, and the daily video and the masterclass enriches me every day. Greetings to the community. Very nice, Vicente. Thank you so much. Badger, such an amazing community. I'd just like to say thank you to our entire community. You're just wonderful people. Thank you, Vicente. And thank you, Rudy. Yesterday, after 4 weeks of intensive studies, I finished the masterclass. Without any doubt, the CTKS Masterclass is the best and most extensive resource available when it comes to crypto trading. Thank you, Rudy. The CryptoTradingKS Masterclass is a premium Rolls-Royce level masterclass specifically designed for crypto. It has many things that have never been shared in the public before, and it's all about transferring my knowledge, 3 decades plus, inside financial markets to give you an edge, to just fast track your career and your ability to trade and invest. It consists of several sections, the foundation section, and it's really interesting. The foundation section is a lot longer than most of the Udemy classes on crypto. The foundation section is just how to mark up your charts using a new methodology that replaces all of candlestick pattern analysis. The next is the trend section, and this is all time released. This is about looking into the market and understanding the intricacies. Many videos in here. I always put something that I've never discussed in public inside each single video. Timing. Timing is all about finding the market's focus, and a lot is shared. Real Wealth is perhaps my absolute favorite. It's about the secret rules of money and how to create a really good relationship with money and overcome self-sabotage. Self-sabotage can be very expensive in the market. And then the trigger section. This is all about buying and selling, the different methods, and I use my live trades in here to help you out. And then there's also a living masterclass section. That's the LV section, where I keep on adding in new content. That keeps the masterclass completely up to date, no matter what crypto is doing and the market is doing. If you come across to the testimonials section, you'll see the testimonials that many people who've experienced the masterclass or are going through the masterclass have shared with the community. Everything I do inside the masterclass is designed to help people fast track and save losses. I've done millions of dollars worth of losses inside financial markets. That's why I created rules to guide good behavior. If you have the rule, you will succeed. That's what it's all about. But it's also having the rule and having the right mental mindset. The CTKS Masterclass is onerous, and it does take effort and energy to get through. But the whole concept with becoming a crypto technical analyst is you're learning a profession like a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an architect, a teacher, a computer scientist. These things do take time, but I'm always seeking to look after the community. If you reach out and talk to a CTKS ambassador, that's the highest level of honor in the crypto technical analysis space. These particular people have shown their dedication and commitment to crypto technical analysis in all its facets, especially the real wealth aspects of integrity, decency, and kindness. Without integrity, decency, and kindness, what actually happens? People go their own way and they can mislead others. That's not what we're about. Everything we do is coming from a foundation of integrity, decency, and kindness. Just reach out to the ambassadors here, and you can just contact them on Twitter. They'll give you an 80% off. It's really interesting. When many people look at this market, they look upon it with terror. Crypto technical analysts look upon it with a different lens. They look upon it with probabilistic fearlessness. That turns fear into excitement. Anyone inside Zone 3 and Zone 4 looks at this market and says, about time. And anyone inside Zone 1 and Zone 2 looks at it with, oh my goodness, I just lost a lot of money. Please remember, KS zone analysis are the 4 stages that everyone, all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth. Getting rid of the addiction to certainty is absolutely critical. Moving into probability, buying on red, is the most important thing you can do. For the Coffee Club members, I'll be releasing the March 2022 Coffee Club video in the next few days. There are already 7 videos up here in the Coffee Club covering Rule 471, Rule 829, Rule 305, 420, 18, 402, 40, and quite a few more. I release 1 video per month as just my way of saying thank you to all the Coffee Club members for your generosity and kindness. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and being part of our global KS family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the link to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.